And hello, my beautiful sisters, to today's goddess messages. I was going to post this yesterday, but my day kind of got hijacked. I live with my elderly parents, and my dad needed help going in to see his doctor and then running some errands. And by the time we got back, my day was gone. So I apologize for not getting these out yesterday, but here they are today. So if you chose card A, the goddess who has a message for you, and this applies to everybody who chose the card A, the goddess is, let's get this where you can see it, Amaterasu. And she's the Japanese goddess of inner beauty, courage, and self-acceptance. And I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Priestess Tora Iresh'nai Moon, and I guide and mentor women in embodying the goddess within, seeing their divine self, and embodying the goddess without, and connecting to the goddess's deity. And this can help us become who we were meant to be, shine our light in the way we're meant to, and to thrive. And I just find the more that I embody the goddess within and the goddess without, I'm much happier. I feel calmer and more at peace with myself and with my life. And I love sharing that with other women. So back to card A and Amaterasu. So the message that she has for you is, you, my dear one, may not see it, but you are beautiful. When you look into the sacred mirror, accept and see a beautiful goddess smiling back at you with many gifts to share. You have so much within you that can light the world and bring joy by just your presence. You don't have to do anything else, just to be who you are, and that can be and is enough. Now is the time to gather your courage around you and shine your light and joy. The world needs this more than anything else in the world, is for us to stand in our truth, shine our light, and be that beacon of hope to the world. You have so many gifts to share that it's almost a crime if you don't share them. The world needs your light. The world needs the gifts that only you can do. And I'm just checking in with Amaterasu and see if there's anything else that she wants to say now that we're live. She gave me a message before I came on. But there's maybe more that's saying now that I'm live and connecting with you even more. And it can be frightening sometimes to step out of that comfort zone of obscurity. But have the courage, my dear one. Have the courage and know that by stepping out and stepping up, you are helping others to do the same. You are helping others to have joy in their life through your joy, through your embracing your life. You are a role model to others who also wish to embrace and enjoy their lives. All you need to do, my sister and my dear one, is just be. Be yourself. Be who you are. And try not to be anybody else. Try not to compare yourself to anybody else, because, my dear one, there was only one. There was only one you that has ever been and that will ever be on this planet. And you are special. You are beautiful. You are amazing. And others need to see that. And you need to look in the mirror and see that for yourself. Blessings to those who chose card A and the message from Amaterasu. So if you chose card B, the goddess that came through is the Celtic goddess Epona. And she is the goddess of sovereignty, leadership, and fertility. A message that she gave to me just before I came on. You, my dear one, are the sovereign ruler of your life. It is up to you to choose and direct the path you take. You are the director of the play, which is your life. Through your conscious choices and decisions, you can change your life, do the things you dream of, and become the leader you secretly long to be. Let your fertile imagination out and let it run with the wind. Allow yourself to be surprised where it takes you. So, Lisa, you showed up just in time to hear that message from Epona. And I'm just checking in to see if she has anything else. And she's just saying to nurture your imagination and that your imagination is what feeds your dreams. And your dreams feed your imagination. They go together. And don't give up on your dreams. You can achieve them. You can bring them into life. Right now, they may be occult. Epona is a horse goddess, so she's using some of those metaphors with me. Your dreams may be occult and a little bit ungainly and unsure on its feet. But as you nurture it and give those dreams your love and know that they're yours, they're there for a reason, they will grow to be strong and to run with the wind, to run the race of life and reach those goals that you want. So blessings to those who chose card B and the message with Epona. Let your dreams run. Let your imagination run. Have fun. That isn't all work. Life isn't all work. It's fun too. And going back with the horse metaphor, one of the images that she's showing me, is horses running across the field, or horses running in waves on the beach, and you can feel and see the joy in them as they run. Feel that joy with your dreams, with your imagination, and let them run. So blessings to you who chose card B. So card C was the goddess Lakshmi. Let's see this where you can see it. And she is the Hindu goddess of abundance, prosperity, and along with that is wealth, and also leadership. So we have in this reading, actually all four goddesses are goddesses of leadership, because Amaterasu is the queen of heaven, the queen of all of the Japanese kami, or spirits. So she is a leader. She is that ruler. Epona is that ruler and leader and sovereignty and being that ruler of your life. Lakshmi, one of her qualities is that leadership and knowing your truth and being in that place of charismatic leadership and your spiritual authority. And the fourth one is Athena, who is also about leadership. So that's the theme for these cards today, is leadership. And I think it's because the world needs us as women to step into our leadership roles, whether it's in our family, in our life, in our companies, in our businesses where we work, in our communities. The world needs women leadership. We need us standing in our divine feminine power and leading from there, from that feminine divine presence that we have, and our divine feminine perceptions, which are different than men, and that will guide this world to a different place than where it is now. So back to card C, and sometimes the goddesses take over, and that's what they wanted me to share. So card C with Lakshmi, and here's the message that she shares. Rejoice, my dear one. Delight in the abundance and bounty that is yours. Be happy and enjoy the blessings you have now that fill your life before asking for more. You can't be happy with what you have now. If you can't be happy with what you have now, you won't be happy when more flows in. The media and fearmongers are trying to convince you there isn't enough. But this, my dear one, is an untruth. There is plenty. The world, your world, is abundant and filled with glorious, beautiful, juicy yumminess. Feel into that. Ooh, just yummy. That's the word that keeps coming through, is yumminess. Juicy yumminess. Yeah. Cherries are in season, and they're one of my favorite fruits, and they're just so juicy and yummy right now. And that's what your life is. If you allow it to be, if you connect with it, you can savor that sweetness and that juiciness that is your life. Open your heart and mind to all that is available, and turn away from those who would have you live in the fear of scarcity. And just checking in with Lakshmi. scarcity and that fear of scarcity and not enough, whether that's not enough money, not enough food, not enough clothing, not enough things in your life, or that scarcity of not being enough is a falsehood. It is what keeps you trapped in smallness. It keeps you from reaching out and expanding and being more of who you are. That fear of scarcity, that fear of not being enough is trapping you in this cycle of smallness. That's the word that keeps coming back, is smallness. There is more in you. There is more for you. And this is also a time to have courage, to give yourself the permission to be more, that you are enough. Give yourself permission to be enough, and that you are enough. And when you do, the bounty and the abundance that is lined up, that is just waiting for you, will flow in. Your belief, your fear of not being enough, or that there isn't enough, is stopping that flow. It's damming it. It's keeping it from you. Let that fear go. Use the affirmation, I am enough. I am enough. There is plenty and the world is abundant. And bring that abundance to you. Blessings to all those who chose card C, the message from Lakshmi. And card D, I mentioned, is Athena. And she is the Greek goddess of strategy, of protector. She's a warrior. She's a warrioress. And she's also that hearth and home, because she protects the innocent. She protects the hearth and home. She isn't a soldier. She is a warrior, and there is a difference between those two. So the message that Athena has for you who chose card D, and when it came through, it totally surprised me. So I really know that this is a message from her. If this is not anything that I've consciously thought about, which has given me assurance that these messages are coming through for you. So it is time, my dear one, to put on your armor and gather your weapons to fight for that which is just and right. It may appear the battles are over, and I'm getting chills as I'm saying this, but this is only a lull in the storm of the war. There is still much work to be done to protect the innocents in your world. However, do not fight without a plan. put together a strategy, gather other warriors of light that support you and support your cause, and be smart in how you fight. Because the world, and especially right now, needs us to be fighting for that which is just and right. Remember, we don't fight against, because that's with the law of attraction. When you're fighting against, you're just in that energy of what you don't want. We can fight for. We can fight for justice. We can fight for people being treated fairly, no matter what their race or gender is, or their age. We can fight for fair treatment in all things. We can fight for just laws. We can fight for medical care for all. When we're fighting for something, we are in the energy of what we want. And we're attracting more of that. And the more of us who are in that energy will be in that collective consciousness, will affect that collective consciousness. And Athena is reminding me of the theory of the 100th monkey, which states that when critical mass is achieved, change, cultural change, social change happens. They found the reason it's called 100th monkey is that they found that an island of monkeys that was totally separated from others of their species, that they found that the species over here learned to do something new. And there was no interaction between these two groups. And once critical mass was achieved, the monkeys on this island started to do the exact same things that these other monkeys learned. And we all know that we're mammals. Humans are mammals. And so this cultural change can happen really easy, really quickly, when there are enough of us on board, that we're changing the mass consciousness, because we are all affecting it. It not only affects us, but we're affecting it. But we can't do it willy-nilly. I think that's what Athena is sharing with having a strategy, having a plan. Just don't go out and march to be marching, protesting to be protesting. Have a plan. Have a strategy of action. What is it that you really want to accomplish? Not just march because you're marching against something, but what are you marching for? What is it that you want to accomplish? And when you have that firmly in your mind, you can attract other people to your cause and more people to your cause. And you become that leader where you're saying, this is what I'm fighting for. This is the change I see. This is the change I want to have in our society and our culture. One of the women in the government, U.S. government, that I see who is doing this is Alexandra, who goes by AOC, Ocasio-Cortez, and I may have gotten her name just a little mixed up. and I apologize for that. She is very much in her divine feminine energy and power. And she's very articulate and passionate about speaking what she's fighting for. She's a good role model to look at in this fight, in this war that we're having right now, to end racism, to end injustice. And racism isn't just against the blacks, it's against the Native Americans, it's against any other. And yes, I know I'm a white woman, but racism also affects us as genders. There's been a war against women for thousands of years. It's time for women to stand up and be strong. It's time for women to say no more. And it doesn't matter what color of our skin is. We are all women and we're all in this together. The goddess doesn't care what color our skin is. And I just got chills. The message that the goddess is sharing with me right now to share with you. This goddess doesn't care what color our skin is. We are all her daughters. The goddess has faces that represent every single culture on this planet. Look at the goddesses that came through today. We have a Japanese Oriental Asian goddess. We have a Hindu goddess. We have a white Celtic goddess. We have a Greek goddess. And the goddesses that I work with span all cultures. I work with Aingana, who is Australian Aboriginal. I work with the Teiskawanyana, or White Buffalo woman, who is Native American. Isis, who is Egyptian. Yemaya, which is Yoruban and African. So, my sisters, we are all sisters. We are all daughters of the goddess. And our fight is that fight for equality for everyone, not just ourselves, but for everyone. Our standing up for strength is for everyone, regardless of color or race or culture, because we are all sisters. We are all daughters of the goddess. Sorry, the trash truck just drove by. And we're putting up the trash, taking it away, and bringing in what we desire. And what I desire, what I see in this world, and what I'm fighting for, is that place of equality for women. And this is not pushing men down. This is acknowledging that men have their place. They have their gifts. They're necessary. And they're part of our culture. They're part of our world. But for so long, women have been pushed down, so it's time to raise us up. We're not pushing men down, we're raising women up to a place of equality, and that equality means everybody is equal, and seeing that their gifts are just as necessary and just as beautiful as the other next person. So, like the trash guys that just came by. their work of taking away our trash and taking it to the dump is just as necessary as a brain surgeon. In fact, probably more so, because we don't want to be inundated with rubbish. Brain surgeon only helps a few people. Trash guys help everybody. So when we're in this place of equality and harmony, everybody's contribution is celebrated as beautiful and amazing. So it doesn't matter what you do for work, my dear sister. It is worthwhile. It helps your community. Yeah. So just checking in and seeing if the goddesses want me to say anything else and share with you. The only thing I'm hearing is that theme for today: step into your leadership. And that is for me as well. I am stepping into my leadership as a goddess priestess and helping and supporting you, my sisters, in embodying the goddess within and without. And if you would like to know more and to work with me in that capacity, you could book a complimentary 30-minute session with me to discover if it's the right path for you and I to work together on that journey of self-discovery, of embodying the goddess within and being the amazing, beautiful, awesome woman I know you are. So thank you to all that showed up. And just as a reminder, we've gone into this quantum realm. So it doesn't matter when you watch this video. We are all connected, and this time has no meaning. And whenever you watch this video is when you need to hear the message. So thank you to everyone who showed up, whether live or in the replay. And I hope these messages have given you a sense of hope, have given you a place to go forward. Have courage. Run with your imagination. Know you are enough and that there is enough. And stand strong and have a plan for what you're fighting for. My blessings to you, and I'll see you in the next video. All my love to you. Bye-bye.